me.
joining us on the We Got You Mama Summit. Oh, Catherine is a beautiful person. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist and founder of happywithbaby.com, and as a mother herself, and she understands all the challenges of new parenthood. And she provides new and expecting parents with the guidance, that she wish she had, and I wish I had when navigating the demands of parenthood, especially, in that newly postpartum stage, when we become new parents or second time parents or third time parents, those relationships, at least in my case, have been really challenged, when you're in that space where you're just, kind of hanging on. And yeah, and she really becoming a mom and going through those things herself became really passionate about this transition and helping other people. So she has 11 years as the California State co-coordinator in the Postpartum Support International, which I know a lot of our experts are a part of that organization, which is amazing. And she co-established A Mother's Heart in Sacramento to offer support to mothers with perinatal and anxiety disorders. So she's a giver. And so thank you so much for giving and being on our show today. So we're just gonna, unless I missed anything, any like fun fact that you want to share with us about you?
Well, fun fact, I think the fun fact would be one of the things I thought I would never do would be coach my kids in any sport. And I joke all the time that I'm entering into, oh gosh, I think it's my 8th anniversary of my last season of coaching my child in soccer.
Good for
So
you.
yeah, I'm always like, yeah, this is my 7th anniversary. This is my 8th anniversary of my last season of coaching. So which I really actually do love it.
Good. I would hope that you would find some love in it, like if you kept doing it. But I don't can't, like, I'm just bowing down to you because I don't have the patience. Like I tried to help a coach at one point, and I got like really angry inside, and I was like, they're just little kids. Like I wasn't yelling, I wasn't, throwing my anger out there, but
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I'm patient enough for this.
Let me just say, last season was definitely challenging. We'll see how I do this season. This might actually be my last season.
But they do get better, right? So,
Oh yeah, the players get better for
yeah, we hope.
sure. I think parents get more challenges.
Oh,
Well, my parents are great. Situations get hard, like expectations. I don't know. Anyways, we could go.
that is a
That could be a whole
whole,
nother
no,
show.
100%. It's a whole other thing. And I
Yes.
guarantee you, like, I'm sure we'll touch on that in
Yeah.
future summits, like how
Yeah.
to properly parent and coach your children through life and in sport.
Yeah,
We just
exactly.
see the example of the parent that doesn't lose their, like
Yeah.
on the field in front of it's just, we've all
Yeah.
experienced super
It's
stressful.
something.
It's something.
That's right.
Okay. So launching into this a little bit, I mean, it's been your job, right? And kind of this life mission in the past, over a decade to help these parents work through these challenges of, postpartum depression and anxiety. And we've been talking in various episodes about the stigma surrounding that and
Mhm.
how, I feel like we're talking more and more
Yeah.
about it. But I don't think we're talking a lot about the specific support that should come in. Like,
Mhm.
when do you need professional help? Like I think people wait till maybe it's really bad, right, to
Mhm.
reach out, or maybe partners don't recognize some of these signs because it's all new
Right.
to them, and they cop it up to, you're just overly tired, you're just, which
Yeah.
oftentimes if you end up, feeling your nutrient needs and sleeping more, it might kind of actually feel better. And then,
Yeah.
so let's talk more around, when is that point of like, okay, something's actually not quite right. Like, yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, whatever. But then, like, I don't think I'm supposed to feel this way,
Yeah.
because I had a friend that was very much like that. Like, I thought I was going to be the poster child for postpartum depression because I've battled with anxiety and postpartum depression majority of my life. And so I thought, well, for sure, like, that's
Yeah.
going to So I felt like kind of prepared for it, but I was like complete opposite. It was almost like the chemicals in me shifted and I was like, this is
Mm,
amazing. And I think maybe
yeah,
the load of life and work kind of lifted a little bit. And all I had to do was this. And I was like, I think I can handle this. This is crazy, but I think I can handle
yeah,
all the crazy
yeah,
that comes with this tiny human being. And my friend was the opposite and ended up, needing medication, needing, you know what I mean? And but wasn't very
yeah.
open about it. I didn't find out till later. So let's chat about that a little bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think, you mentioned like being tired, and I think I always like to say like t like sleep does play into mood and anxiety disorders. Like that is true.
Right.
When we aren't getting enough sleep,
Yeah.
it is going to affect our mood
100%.
long term,
For
so
sure. No. I woke
I
up this morning
I mean it does like
without enough sleeping and I almost cried. I was like, I'm so tired. I'm
yeah.
sad. Like I wanted
Yeah,
to
and so
cry.
it's like so I mean I think that I think that's huge, right? And so it's like people are like, oh, well, I'm just not getting enough sleep. I'm just not getting enough sleep. And it's like, yeah, you probably aren't if you have a new baby, or even a baby that's like 6, 12 months, 18 months, whatever. And I think it's really important to look at like how much sleep are you getting, and if you're not getting at least I say a minimum of 5 to 6 hour chunk, and that's 5 to 6 hour uninterrupted
Yeah.
stretch at a time, a night, consistently, night after night. Like we need to look at that because that's going to affect your mood ongoing. And so what do we need to do to shift to look at that?
Yeah.
What kind of support do you need? And how do we make sure that you have a safe place? Like what do we look at that? And that's for both of you. That's for both
Right.
parents in the home, right?
Right.
You both need to make sure that you're getting, enough sleep. And, eventually, some people can function on that and that's enough long term. Like my husband needs less sleep than I do. I mean, I always joke like I'm good 10, 12 hours a night.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Like, I mean, ideally,
No,
but like
honestly, I could. If someone let me, I'm pretty sure I could go like 10,
yeah.
12. Yeah.
Yeah. My kids are older now and I joke like they tuck me into bed
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
There was a time where I mean, so eventually it comes back to you,
Yeah.
um, but like you need that. You need at least that. And so in those early days, oftentimes you could be getting maybe one, hour uninterrupted, and you get that back to back, it's going to affect your mood. So it's like I always like look at that first. Like what is your sleep? How much sleep are you getting? And how do we focus on that first? And if okay, yeah, now I am getting enough sleep and I'm still having a difficult time, okay, well, what else do we need? Like where do we look at that? Like, do we need to, talk to a doctor? Do we need to get other support? And if you're not getting, how do we make sure you're getting the support to get the sleep, whether it's you and your partner making sure you're somehow, alternating sleep to make sure that you're both getting that sleep. Are you able to get somebody in to help you
Yeah.
get some naps in there, or, come over or get some extra sleep in, however, whatever that looks like, right? Because that is a priority. Um, you know, however that could be. And then, or talking to a doctor like, hey, I am still, I am having a lot of anxiety. I am feeling down, or I'm feeling rageful. Like sometimes
Right.
it's not depression. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
not, it's anger. I feel
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know why,
Right.
and maybe I'm not angry at my baby. I'm angry at my partner,
Right.
right? I'm
But it's
angry
like
at the
intense.
world,
It's
right?
like,
And
yeah,
it's
you're like,
intense,
yeah.
yeah. Or I'm feeling, maybe I'm having feelings of suicidality, you know, um, or maybe like, it's, there's, different mood disorders, right? There's OCD, obsessive compulsive. Like you know, there's things I have to do to feel like safe, to keep, to make sure like have to be in order to make sure things are right, you know. So or maybe there was some sort of like trauma I experienced, some sort of birth trauma, right? That can definitely have a profound impact on a mother's emotional well-being, right? And so what does that look like? And so making sure that there's some sort of, specialized,
Right.
counseling to focus on whatever that is to heal that birth trauma,
Right.
you know?
Because it's like you can have a plan, you can have a vision,
Yeah.
and then like, and it all goes out the window, and then
Right.
now you're just supposed to handle it, and then
Yeah.
now focus everything on this,
Right.
other human being, and you're like, I didn't even
Right.
get the chance to process, and I'm healing
Right.
physically and emotionally, and I could see
Right.
how that could be very like
Right. And we
hard.
need that validation. We need that support, right? That, whether it's other mothers that have gone through similar things, similar experiences, or, somebody else that can offer, educational resources or something that can help us with that healing,
Right.
right? So it's that perceived, that what we went through.
Right.
So,
Man, I just remember getting that first chunk of sleep for the first time.
mhm.
Right? And you wake up like a different person.
Oh yeah. I
So a
remember
lot of
that
it can
too.
be so, you know what I mean? You're like, okay, I'm falling apart. And then like you get that chunk of sleep, and first you're like, the baby's not breathing because why am I still sleeping? Right. And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, and then our bodies
100%.
like adapt a little bit, right?
And you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel like a brand new person. I can like conquer the world,
I
you
can do
know?
it.
Like,
No,
what
it's
can I do?
true. Yeah. And there's a
Yeah.
lot that goes on. We talk about in some other episodes, like even just within our brain and how like
Yeah.
our bodies have like prepared for this, even in the
Yeah.
sense that like, yeah, 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, these stretches will
Yeah.
like make it feel like you've got 15 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
You've just
Yeah.
back from vacation, you're ready to go. And so I think
Yeah.
that's important too as you're preparing to know that, so that if you're
Yeah.
feeling
And even if it's
all
like
is
it,
lost, you can make
yeah.
like, okay, I need someone to gift me this time and
Yeah.
know baby's taken care of, and then give that to yourself.
Yeah. And people will tell you to sleep when the baby's sleeping, and you'll say, I can't, I can't sleep. Like, I don't know when they're gonna wake up and I can't sleep. And I'm said, you know what, that's okay. Don't feel that pressure that you have to sleep, but rest. Don't feel
Right.
like you have to do the
Run
laundry.
around
Don't
and
feel like you have to do the dishes. I want you to lay down on your bed, and I don't want you to pick up your phone. Do
yeah,
not doom scroll. Don't look for things. Like maybe pick up a magazine or just curl up with a warm, a cozy blanket or something, you know, like put on some nice music or whatever. And I want you to just rest. There's no pressure to fall asleep. I want you to just rest. Maybe you're looking out the window or something, but I don't want you to have like the TV distraction or, the media distraction or anything like that. Just even if it's like 5 minutes, you do that for 5 minutes, maybe you fall asleep, maybe not, right? And then maybe then you can put on the TV or do something
right.
like that. But 5 minutes of just like a rest, um, of nothing, and then you can do something else,
Yeah.
but
I think
uninterrupted like rest for
we take
you.
so much pressure on like
Yeah.
sleeping is rest. So
Yeah.
like if I'm not gonna
Yeah.
rest and then fall asleep, then like what's the point? But like,
Hmm.
so much our bodies can benefit from just like
Yeah. Because
really
our nervous systems are so activated at this time because like you're learning so much and your body's doing so much, especially like if you're like breastfeeding and stuff and it's like gone through so much, especially if
Mhm.
you've just been through delivery, everything, right? So it's like you're and you're like
Yeah,
learning what your baby needs and all these things. And in that first year, the changes that you go through and the changes that your baby goes through is like constant, so
constant.
it's like
Yeah.
you need those moments of like rest to recharge.
And so when we talk about rest and we talk about recharging, we talk about this, overwhelm. Um,
Hmm.
we talk about a lot of strategies, that the mom can do and have someone else or have someone else. And when I talk to a bunch of different, doulas or
Hmm.
lactation experts or pediatricians that, work in coming to the home, like they often are like, okay, I'm here. to boss everyone around. You're going to do this for her and you're going to do that for her. And so if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have someone like that coming into your home,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of be that lead in guiding people, to be that support, like what are
Mm-hmm.
some of those things that, us as women can do before babies, or even after, before
Yeah.
the breakdown of like, I need help, right?
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
what
This is
happens with you.
my one of my favorite things, because yeah, we're not all lucky enough to have those
Yeah.
people to do things. So I created this like all the things organizers that just basically, and it's like a free download on my website. Anyone can download it and you can make it your own. So it's like you could
Okay,
delete things, add things or whatever. But
cool.
you could also even just create like a list of the things like, hey, these are the things I need to get done. And so someone comes over and they're, people will often say like, oh, do you need help with anything? And you're like, and especially when you're in that, I don't know what I need
Do
done.
I?
Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, do I need anything done?
You're like
And you
all
can't
the
even
things.
like think, but you could just say, yeah, here's my list. And they
Right.
can look at your list. And then they're like, oh, you need the dishes done? Yes. And they can like do something off the list. You can just kind of point to the list and they can choose something off your list of things and they can help you do something there, and it's just already there. You could put it on a refrigerator wherever you, I don't know, wherever you want to have it, right? And then you can just kind of like, here it is, this is
Done.
what I need done, this is how
Done.
I and it can kind of be your built-in you know doula or whatever you
Look
want to
at
call
the
it. I call
list.
it the all the things organizer, but you can call it
Yeah.
whatever you want to.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just
You
like,
can name it, like,
yeah.
go ask Bob.
Yeah.
Bob will tell you,
That's Bob.
work through those things. Come
Yeah,
back.
but this is the last time I did it. There's like a little tab, like the last, you could put the last time you did it and all
Okay.
those things. And then yeah.
That's
And because it's like it's hard to, and because I think it's like so hard to think. And we don't, especially when you're tired and you're like, and when somebody asks you and you're like, I don't know, nothing, I don't need anything. And it's like, it's easier if somebody says, can I get you a salad for lunch? Yes.
right.
Or do you want a salad or a sandwich? Oh,
Yeah.
a sandwich,
Right.
versus do you want anything for lunch?
Uh,
No, I'm fine. Like I
right.
can't think of what I want, but if you give me a specific, I can say yes or no.
Yeah. I think
It's
it
so
is
much
harder
easier.
to often, it's hard for us to ask for help and then even just
Mm-hmm.
to receive it. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think just as human beings, if we break that down a little bit and just say
Mm-hmm.
like, I am going to bring you lunch, I'm on my way, like
Yeah.
this is what I'm getting, is that cool?
And I do like I mean I can specifically remember my friends and family that brought me meals and what they brought me and how amazing they were. And I don't know that I would have chosen those meals, but I think they were the best meals I ever ate because A, I didn't have to make them.
Yeah,
And
you
it
have to
was like,
decide, you didn't
yeah, I
have
didn't
to
have to
like,
decide. They didn't make me choose anything. They just brought them to me and
yeah.
I ate them and I needed them and they were amazing.
That's someone drop off like 2 bags of like Trader Joe's groceries. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing.
Thank
She
you
didn't
for
ask. She's like, do you have any allergies? Do you have any like couple things that you crave from Trader Joe's? I was like, well, and she's like, tell me now. And I'm like, okay, these things. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people want to help. They want to help. So
Yeah,
then
they do. They really
accept it,
do.
and you want
Yeah.
to help too. And you're gonna find a mom in that situation later, and you're gonna, then pass that on and give that gift
Yeah, and pay it
that you.
forward. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, what would you say are the top things that both parents, partner and the mom, can prioritize? Like, what is the most important when it comes to like all these responsibilities? Is it like that list, those first few things on the list, or what would you say, like, if anything, do da 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 da?
Um, I think the top thing is that each parent prioritizes something for themselves, like care, like self-care for themselves, right? And making sure that they each are doing something to take care of themselves, that their needs, that whole, cliche, putting their oxygen mask on first,
Yeah.
right? And making sure that they're doing that. And then and then making sure that they're prioritizing their relationship,
Yeah.
so that they have that support with each other, so that then they can be the best parents to their child.
And what does that look like in this newly postpartum, world? Is it like, just high-fiving just for that contact here and there? Like there's different levels of
Oh, they're
connection.
totally going out on, 5-course meals,
You
leaving the
know,
baby out.
what is that kind of like? And I know it differs, right? Like everyone's
Yeah.
journey is different,
Yeah.
but is it just a matter of communicating?
Yeah. I mean,
A
I think
matter
it's
of,
like, I think it is checking in,
yeah,
right? I think it is like checking in. It's like, how are you doing? I think it's also, um, recognizing and encouraging the other parent and noticing what they are doing well, right? Like it's like, because it is hard, and it's saying like, you are doing a good job. Like I know this is a hard, breastfeeding is hard and you're doing a good job, or
supporting them in
like
that if that's what they choose.
the
Just
supporting
remember,
them in being a new parent,
mhm,
right? And being maybe it's their second baby, like
right.
taking on all the new things, right? And I think, and then also it's like, so checking in with each other, um, just even spending 5 minutes to do that, whatever time that is, uh, every day. Like
Yeah.
just making sure that they're doing that. It could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, it could be in the evening, but making sure that they're doing that on a regular basis. And then it's like, and then, and I always say like date night, and date night doesn't, ideally, of course, you're like going out and leaving kids behind, and you're not doing that with a new baby.
Mhm.
Probably, most of us probably are not doing that. But maybe you are going out and you're taking the baby with you and you're going for a walk,
Yeah.
right? And you're going for a walk and you're pushing the baby in the stroller and you're talking,
Yes.
right? Or you're going to have it somewhere and you're having a dessert and you're talking,
Yeah.
but you're having time together, right? That's uninterrupted by your phone or uninterrupted by watching TV. Or maybe it is like you guys go in your room and you lay down together on the bed, right? And you take a nap together. Like
Yeah.
you're doing something together, but you're making that time like, hey, we're gonna do something together that's not, interrupted by other things.
Children.
Yeah, yeah, like older children,
Yeah.
like ideally,
Hmm.
and it's like it doesn't have to be like, a long period of time. It could even just be as much as like 30 minutes or an hour. But it's like, oh, we're gonna have, time for each other. And then of course as they get older, you get more time. And I would say like, an hour, once a week, once a week ideally.
Yeah.
And maybe it's every other week at first, but and I always like try to tell people like try to set it up where it's like, hey, we do this at the same time every week. So it's like it's kind of a
Right.
ritual of sorts. And so it's like this is a predictable thing. And then the kids know we do it. And so, I mean, my kids know like pretty much Saturday nights, this is when my husband and I, we go on a date, whatever it is. And then it's like if we don't, they're kind of annoyed. Like, you guys aren't doing your date night. And it's like, because sometimes now we do like a Friday night or
Yeah.
whatever. But then we went out on a Friday night and now they're annoyed we're not going out. No, we went out Friday night.
Yeah. You're like, fine,
Oh, we're
bye.
not going out tonight because they kind of like, well, we had ideas in our head that you weren't going to
Right.
be here,
Right.
So it's like, so it's like they kind of have gotten like they've gotten used to it, like they
Yeah.
know, and it's like, and now
That's a
granted,
cool
this is like
example for
our
them
oldest is
too.
15 now, so it's like
Right.
a thing.
Yeah. I love setting that
Um,
example too for them, right? That example of
yeah,
like, oh, parents that spend time
right.
prioritizing themselves. Like our dates often turn into like go getting a mall massage.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
and
like
it could be like
30
any,
minutes and
yeah,
like let's go. And then we grab ice cream on the way back. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
like you said, it doesn't have to be major, but we're like, we'll be back in 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like
Yeah.
sometimes ours is like a big walk around like our neighborhood or whatever. We go grab a drink and we come back. You know what I mean? Like it's like not like we're gone this long time, this elaborate thing, but it's like um it's kind of it's fun and it's nice, and is quality time, and
Yeah.
maybe the only time we get like uninterrupted conversation with each other,
Yeah. Yeah. Because your life, yes, is forever changed. And I think we need
Hmm.
to shift how negative people make that sound, like, oh,
Yeah.
well, when baby comes, good luck with ever doing anything ever again,
Yeah.
So I think it's important to be like, no, like, you can still do things, and you
Yeah.
could bring
Well,
baby if baby does well out, and then if they don't, like, try again, and
yeah.
just
And I remember someone saying that to me. It was like, oh, well, and I even wrote a blog post about this once. It's like, oh, like baby like changes, it's gonna be terrible, and baby changes it. I can't remember what the title of my blog post was, but something. I'll think about it after we finish our
yeah.
conversation. I know it, but it was like, I'm like, no, it's like you just like tweak what you do. Like I remember like someone telling me it's like, oh, they love camping, and they would hike out for like miles and backpack out camping for like days, and then they'd come back. And then they had a baby, and they started like car camping with the baby because it was like too much to hike out for days with this new baby. But then they like shifted, and now they do it, and they have like much older kids, and like they just started incorporating their kids into what they like to do. But it's not like they stopped doing what they love. They just shifted how they did it. It's like
Right.
you can still do what you love. It just might look a little bit different for a while until your child becomes old enough to do it in the way you like to. But if you like to do certain
Yeah.
things, you know, don't stop doing what you love because you have children. You just might have to shift a little bit about how you do it. Of course, to keep them safe and all those things or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's like, don't, because if you stop doing the things that you love, then it's like parenting is gonna suck, and it doesn't have to. Because kids are pretty awesome. Like,
Yeah.
um, they really are.
And I would say it's cool when your parent goes out and does something cool for them.
Yeah,
And then sometimes they take you along for the ride and it makes
yeah,
it special, or you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like I think
yeah.
they appreciate that more than
Hmm.
you, like, helicoptering and always in their life and
Yeah,
always doing all the things. Like they want to see you enjoying things that you love too,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I have a hard time when people introduce themselves as like, oh, hi, I'm Tommy's mommy. I'm like, no,
yeah,
what's your name?
yeah,
Who are you? Like, what do you,
yeah.
they forget, and we get lost in motherhood a little bit, which,
Right,
happens a lot. But I think we can find ourselves within it. You know what I mean?
right,
We can bring these kiddos along for the ride. And I think it's cool.
right.
I mean, we both have kids that are a little bit older, and it's like, it's cool that they get to see their parents doing stuff and going
Yeah,
places and know that
right,
they'll
right.
be okay, by themselves now. Cause yes, they're babysitting themselves now or whatever. But then even
Yeah,
little, like, oh, we're cool with a sitter, like mommy and daddy are, like, she's dressed up to go do something. That's fun, instead
yeah,
of always just like in it and in it and in it.
right, right.
It did that for a hot minute, and I was just looked like I was an ornery, exhausted mom. And I was like, something's, like you said, like, you got to shift. You got to shift
Yeah. Yeah.
when
And it doesn't serve them well. And we know, I mean, studies show that kids, it's not the quantity of time you're with them, it's the quality of time. So
yeah,
if you do things for yourself and that you come back to your kids and you're much happier and you do better with them, then it's so much better, right? So it's
right.
the quality of time. So go do your thing, do stuff for yourself, and you can come back and be a much better quality. So self-care, doing things for yourself, prioritizing your relationship with your partner, right? So that you can
Right.
have this great, you know, relationship with your children, right? And that they can see that, and that like that inspires them. Like my thought is like I want my kids to how to be know how to take care of themselves much better than I ever knew how to take care of myself. Like I didn't know how to do that. Like my
Right.
kids are going to know how to do that for themselves. They
Right.
already do. Kids already are better about it.
Yeah.
Like they kind of joke about kids like how they wear such much more comfortable clothes than we ever did, right? Like they wear like tennis shoes and sweats and all sorts of things. Like they're
They're
like the
wearing like
comfort generation. Like
pajama pants to school. Is that a trend for your teens? Like, I was like, that wasn't cool when I was in school. You didn't wear pajama
no,
pants
no.
to school. Granted, they have to be like the plaid ones,
The
but
patterns. That's right. That's right.
yeah, you can't just wear like, stripes, heaven forbid. But
Yeah.
and yeah, no, that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, these kids they're awesome. And I think we need to give them more credit, right?
Yeah. They
Even
are.
at an earlier age, like they are absorbing their little sponges,
Yeah.
they're gonna grasp a lot more than you think. Like, and they're listening. Like
Yeah.
it blew my mind how much my little toddler was absorbing before she could
Right.
articulate all the things. And I was like, I didn't know you were listening. And now you're recalling a story of like a conversation her husband and I had
Yeah.
that maybe you shouldn't
Yeah.
have been listening in on.
Right. Yeah.
But they're learning and growing and doing all the things. So yeah, I want you to expose them to all the good things that, you were doing,
Yeah.
pre-kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you stay on that track? Because now that I'm in my 40s, it's like I'm seeing like so many divorces. And
Yeah.
it's really been scary and fright and like real shocked. Like every month I'm just shocked at like this next
Mhm.
friend that's, and I'm like, what is it about getting those kids a little older, going through all the, craziness of raising these tiny human beings, and then when you're hitting this, certain middle age group, that you're seeing these divorces just pop up
Mhm.
like crazy. So like, is it getting too lost within that realm that
Yeah.
you just are kind of doing this, instead of this? I know, again, each
Yeah.
individual's journey is different, but is it is it like invest now, and pay attention now so that, you don't end up there and don't know each other by the
Yeah.
time, like what is your advice and with, people you work with and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, well, so we know that 92% of couples report relationship dissatisfaction that first year after having a baby. 92%.
Wow.
That's huge, right? And so it's like
Basically everyone.
69% 3 years later, right? So, I mean, I think it's important that we work on, you know, communication, right? How do we resolve conflict resolution? Because it's going to be there, right? How are we talking about what are the things that aren't working, right? Like, I mean, there's still things that pop up with my husband and I, right? Like parenting stuff, like scheduling things, like just like the demands of parenthood,
Right.
right? Like, and then, and I think it's like constantly, I mean, I think that's why the date night, like I know when I'm irritated with my husband, it usually has to do with we aren't spending like quality time with each other.
Right.
And so then I'm like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
we got to make sure we're getting the date nights in because sometimes it's like, okay, we get booked up with like, okay, we got all these like track meets and then there's soccer games and then there's swim meets and all these things. And it's like, yeah, we're spending time together, but we're not really spending just us time. So it's like we need that, right? Like we're at the point where it's like, I kind of want to just do a getaway with just the two of us, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like overnight. So those kind of
Yeah.
things, like finding those times were for us because there's a lot of kid time and it's like and there's the homework and
Yeah.
dealing we have a child with severe dyslexia, so we're dealing with specialized tutoring and different things like that, so there's like a lot of like demands and needs and things that you're constantly like juggling and working on and figuring out and you know
And that's always going to be the
and
case.
it's stressful and it's
Yeah.
constantly stressful and it's
Yeah.
like and then if you're kind of off a little bit it's like ugh. So it's like, hey, I see you, do you see me, are we are we here together,
Yeah.
and I think it's like we need to make sure we do that, and I think sometimes we don't have time to, right? Like we have to slow down enough to do that, and it's so easy not to because the world keeps spinning.
Right.
I mean, it does. It's like we've got to stop the wheel from turning to do it ourselves because
Right.
otherwise it keeps going. I mean, I think that was the thing about COVID is it did stop. We had a lot of time together. It was actually kind of nice in a way because there was not all these extra things and we got
Right.
extra time together. But then it started up again and
Yeah.
It's almost like we had too much
Too
time
much.
together,
It's
and
too
that was
much.
annoying.
We're not meant to like 24/7. Yeah.
That was a little too much time, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like now it's like, where's the happy medium?
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
there's going to be, I mean, our oldest is almost done with high school. I mean, almost done with this freshman year, which went by so fast. And so it's like, holy moly, like it's going to just be the two of us soon. So it's like, I want to still like you, you know? So we've got to really, we got
Yeah.
to make sure we're
When there's no one
communicating and
else to focus in and like,
yeah.
pour into and like,
Yeah, so we've got
yeah.
to like make sure
Mhm.
that we stay on the same page.
Yeah. And I think what I recognize has been really important is communication has always been hard for me.
Yeah,
Um, and how important that is, like how often we just assume
yeah,
should know that that needs to be done. The garbage was sitting there for 3 days, like
yeah.
but it doesn't hurt to say. And that's why I think your list is genius. You're like, these
Hmm.
things help me. These things
Yeah,
are what I need you to check on like
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
And I don't want to worry about them. And if they're on the list, then like
yeah,
that you are going to be able to complete them. And then
yeah,
like, they often say like you treat it, and it sounds horrible, but it's they say it's work, right? And so you think about work and you think about a business transaction,
yeah,
right? And like you sit down and we have planning meetings of
yeah,
like closing tasks or not, like,
yeah,
okay, cool, you said you're in charge of dinner in the kitchen
yeah,
tonight, but like you cooked and then halfway cleaned and then halfway
yeah,
and then coming in and now that's not something that's off my plate. It's
yeah,
closing the task. And so
yeah,
like I heard that somewhere where they're like, just help them close the task. If you're like this,
yeah,
I'm this, what are the expectations surrounding that?
yeah,
Right. So that no one's like bent out of shape because, oh, well, you kind of didn't. And it's like they thought they are killing it. And you're like,
yeah,
and then now you're whining about the job that they thought they did an awesome job in. So I think it's just that
yeah,
communication of like expectations and like
yeah,
you can lower them too. They don't have to be up here.
yeah,
Like everyone's crazy and a little sleep deprived and things are new. And so those
yeah,
expectations on the things that don't really matter
right.
down a little bit. But like those key things, is mom eating? Is she drinking? Is she
Yeah.
sleeping? And so you're like putting those on the list, feed me, water me, and then help me get enough sleep.
I know those
And then
basic
break it
needs, and
down.
I think those postpartum is those basic needs. It's like, are the basic needs of both of us being met?
Yeah. And they're
And then as they get a little
not.
bit older, like the other things, you can add them to their, but in the beginning, it's like basic needs:
Yeah.
water, fed, sleep,
And what does
shelter.
that look like? And then creating a plan around that,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like,
Hmm.
oh, well, the filter's always empty. And so I just like, and then baby cries and then I'm dehydrated, So it's like
Hmm.
those little things. I remember my mom coming in and like, she was, the water filter was always like super full. It was like her thing, and then the pumps were always being washed. And it was just that relief of like, oh, one less thing that
Yeah.
you just have to even,
Yeah.
concern yourself over. So I think that's,
Yeah.
you know. Cool. Well, I'm
Yeah.
excited for people to check out, your list. And I love how it's editable and you can
Yeah.
like,
You make your own. It's a
um,
spreadsheet, which I'm not a
yeah,
huge spreadsheet person, but I had so many clients ask for it and so many people over the years. I'm like, it's a pretty hefty spreadsheet. Yeah, and
a
then people can
spreadsheet that's
edit themselves.
pre-built, right?
Yes, yes,
I hate building my own spreadsheets, but if you send me a pre-built one, I can
yes,
punch in stuff.
yeah,
Just don't do all the things to design it and column it and break it down. So like I
yeah,
think you've done the hard part.
yeah.
Providing that, which is like what we're talking about. Like, cool, you need a spreadsheet. Who's going to make the spreadsheet, right? I'll tell you
Yeah.
things you need to do, but then like you
Right.
make you make this.
That's right.
That's so awesome. Well, I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell people where they can find you, how they can reach out. Tell them where they can find Happy with Baby. If
Yeah.
they want read more about it. Yeah, I mean, you're out in
Yeah.
Sacramento, and so obviously you treat people in person out there. And how else can people like get in contact? I know we're gonna include all the information on,
Yeah.
the emails and all that kind of stuff, but just so we throw it out there.
Yeah. Well, I like to keep it simple because so I'm at happywithbaby.com and all social media happy with baby. So Facebook, Instagram, yeah, at happy with baby. And my book is is Happy with Baby as well. And I kind of break it down the three questions too, is like, how do you make sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your relationship, and taking care of baby? So answer those three questions in the book too.
Yeah, I love that.
So
Those three
yeah.
key things, right?
Yep.
Those are the kind of books I feel like I needed to be reading, not the like what to expect when expecting and like
Yeah.
the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People weren't
Yeah.
throwing, I mean, my first one 14 years ago, right? They weren't, there was probably stuff out there, sure, but like
Yeah.
it was, I wasn't reading about them. I was reading all about the baby, all about taking care of baby, and
Yeah.
how much I really needed to be looking at taking care of me, taking care of my relationship. You know, I think that's
Yeah.
super,
Yeah.
super important.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for
You're
writing
welcome.
that book. You wrote it with your husband, right?
I did. It's based off a workshop we've taught for like almost 15 years now, which was based off of having our first child. And I was like, why was I not prepared for this being a therapist? Why was I so unprepared? I just like you just can't be prepared sometimes. So it's based off that. And he has a lot of good insights. He's not a therapist, but he just being a dad and he's full of good little key thoughts. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
he
love
wrote it
that.
with me and has been teaching the workshop with me for years.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love that you guys collaborate on that because, you know,
yeah,
it takes a team, it takes a village, it takes a
right.
partner, you know, and from you whoever you create that village with, you know, I think those insights are important for the, you know, the
Yeah.
other person to chime in and kind of, you know,
Hmm.
be a part of that. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, check out that spreadsheet. She already made it for
I
you.
already made it for you, so you don't
Spreadsheet.
have to.
Get it going. Even if whatever, you have toddlers and teenagers, like get
Yes.
that list going because I know, you know, we all have lists. We have a million things in our brain that we wish we could assign out to people and things that would help make our life, you know, a little bit easier, a little bit lighter. And I'm big on that method. Lists are like key because then can you read? Great. There it is. It's there for you to support you.
Yes, and you can edit it as
Yeah.
your family grows. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna like make it poster size. So
that's right.
I'll send a picture and tag you. Look at my
Yeah.
poster size
Yes, I would
spreadsheet.
love that. I would love that.
All right. Well, thanks again. I appreciate you, Catherine,
Thank you, Carly.
everything you do. And again, if you want to reach out to her, you know where to find her at
Yes,
happywithbaby.com. And yeah, and we got you. Catherine's got you.
I
So
gotcha.
feel free to reach out about anything that has come up or anything, any questions you have or something that's resonated with you. Let us know. And thanks again.
Thank
We'll
you.
chat soon. All
All
right.
right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.